have some other people on the other side of the family, and we know they're here in spirit, and I'm sure they're just smiling right now. I also want to thank my parents, because we wouldn't be here without you guys with your support. It's just been incredible growing up under you guys. I can't say thank you enough. So I'm definitely an amateur when it comes to weddings, I'll admit. I have not been to a lot. This is definitely my first time being in the bridal party as a groomsman. Definitely a first time being a best man. And most definitely my first time giving a speech at one. So we'll see how this goes. When I first thought of this speech, immediately I was like, all right, I'm gonna crush this.
Bam!
It's unfair, you're giving it to the brother, I know this guy top to bottom. It's almost like tying my shoelaces with my eyes closed or something. But in all honesty, like most things in life, it's very tough to find, the right words to explain things sometimes. But luckily I do have a few stories for you guys. Anyone that knows me and my brother knows we're pretty much inseparable, and we get along as well as like brothers. Any brothers can get along. I think we might have fight maybe like 10 times our whole life or something. I'm probably exaggerating there actually. And that means a lot to me. And I found that interesting because anybody knows the more you hang out with people, whether it's your friends, your roommates, your girlfriends or your wife. Just kidding. The more they start to annoy the crap out of you, okay? We were quite the opposite, you and I. We were really activity kings. Anything you could think of, we did together. We would get together on these crazy ideas and just be all about it from start to finish. Like, hey, do you want to start a club in our backyard? Let's steal wood from God knows where and just build it ourselves. I remember having dreams of like the Swiss Family Robinson, like a kitchen in there and bedrooms to sleep in, nice like stairs going up. I was like, no question, let's do this right away. I gotta say that probably ended up being like the worst treehouse in the state, let alone the neighborhood. It was like nailed in the tree branches with like tarp. We almost killed my friend Dan like twice with this thing. But we went in that thing like every day I could possibly remember.
That's what he said.
Or what about that time I was like, let's turn our basement into an amusement park, like rides and everything. We would take any piece of garbage we could get our hands on, as well as a treasure trove that was our basement. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that basement. And we would turn it into what we called Funky Town, which I actually had a conversation about earlier today. With some people that know about this in this room. Actually, a lot of people probably. Yeah, you'd think something like that would last maybe like a year or two as well. Yeah, we had to get like forced out of there pretty much by like floods. We did not want to leave that basement. You're also probably imagining this like nice basement with like carpets and stuff, like really cool stuff, but it was probably the grimiest cellar known to man. My friends called it like the dungeon, I think, or something, right? We had actually made like haunted houses out of it. It was really kind of crazy, the stuff we were doing there. What about, hey man, let's put on some tights and pretend like we're in the WWF, like wrestling. There are videos, no lie to this day, of us like fighting pillows and stuffed animals with full color commentary and like theatrics, like walking out the smoke and stuff. And it probably is me wearing tights in there somewhere. Sure. I remember, Chris, you keep like the win-loss records posted all over the place, you're our stat guy. Or what about, hey man, let's tie the dog up to a sled and see how fast he can pull us. I'm pretty sure we were 5 miles per hour away from hitting 88 dog sledding into the future, man. We're walking past an abandoned power wheel on somebody's trash, stripping the motor, getting our friends together and paint it, and start racing down hills together. I'm pretty sure we were like 14, 15 years old when we did that too. Nana knows what I'm talking about. And honestly, that's like an example, maybe like 20% of the stuff we did together. You know, and somewhere between being born and now, I was like, I probably have the coolest brother known to man. You know, someone that's always up for fun, no matter how dumb it seems. You know, someone that will stay there the whole time. Someone you can trust. And I know you'll have that with Jess. You know, you guys will always be there for each other, and I'm happy for that. Not a lot of people get the chance to go to college with their brother as well. I was very fortunate. For those who don't know, we went to the best school in the world, the Pennsylvania State University. We have a lot of fellow alumni here, I'm sure. I actually just met my father's roommate. So if you see the people having the most fun tonight, that's probably us. So I was able to live with my brother for 2 years. You know, we were able to continue that relationship we had as kids. You know, whether it was going to football games together, taking me to parties, helping me out at school, we were the same major together. He was always there when I needed him. There's actually one time I can remember clear as day when I got into a fight. It was at the lacrosse house at Penn State. I won't go into how it happened other than it involved beer and an idiot. But next thing I know, I'm getting attacked by the entire lacrosse team. There was probably about 30 guys attacking me like all at once. It was like the West Side Story. I mean, it was pretty brutal there for a second. You know, I can try and sound tough, like I was fighting them off 300 style, but that was not going to happen. I was going right to the hospital pretty much. Nobody's going to help me. I just remember all I could hear is, you know, get off him. And, you know, I'm just kind of fighting around, and I just feel a hand coming, let's go, running, you know, away really quick, and, you know, next thing I know, it's Chris next to me. He's the one that pulled me out of that pile. Looking back and putting myself in your shoes, you know, I realize that's a pretty crazy thing to do. You know, probably something that's instinctual for a brother. You know, it's kind of unfair having a brother growing up because it just gives you one more reason to feel invincible in life. You know, I've always felt protected by Chris growing up. You know, and I'm not sure I ever truly thanked you for that. You know, but I appreciate all the sacrifices that you've made for me and how you've protected me since I was born. I know you will provide the same for Jess with all the same love and care, and she will back. I also want to thank you for having a huge part in the best 4 years of my life. I know it would not have been the same without you there in the beginning. Jess, you said to me last week you couldn't believe that I'll be your brother soon. My immediate reaction was, we've been family for a long time. You're one of the few girls in my life that